Imagine you possess the timeless wisdom of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, guiding you through life's trials with unwavering clarity and resilience. Now picture unlocking that wisdom through over 100 inspirational quotes carefully chosen to ignite your inner strength and lead you towards a life of purpose and fulfillment. This isn't just a video, it's your opportunity to tap into the profound teachings of Stoicism and revolutionize your mindset forever. Are you ready to embrace the transformative power of Stoic philosophy? If so, let us begin. 6 mistakes mankind keeps making century after century. Believing that personal gain is made by crushing others. Worrying about things that cannot be changed or corrected. Insisting that a thing is impossible because we cannot accomplish it. Refusing to set aside trivial preferences. Neglecting development and refinement of the mind. Attempting to compel others to believe and live as we do. A single day among the learned lasts longer than the longest life of the ignorant. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The only way to happiness is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Every hour, focus your mind attentively on the performance of the task in hand with dignity, human sympathy, benevolence and freedom, and leave aside all other thoughts. You will achieve this if you perform each action as if it were your last. If it's endurable, then endure it. Stop complaining. If I followed the multitude, I should not have studied philosophy. I do not know whether I shall make progress, but I should prefer to lack success rather than to lack faith. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Cowards die many times before their death. For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories. Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. To move the world, we must first move ourselves. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set and you with it. Don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. Then your life will flow well. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. Nothing truly stops you. Nothing truly holds you back, for your own will is always within your control. Concern should drive us into action and not into depression. No man is free who cannot control himself. Confine yourself to the present. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Except our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. Nothing is needed by fools, for they do not understand how to use anything, but are in want of everything. The foundation of every state is the education of its youth. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a harder battle. To be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. As a matter of self-perseveration, a man needs good friends or ardent enemies, for the former instruct him and the latter take him to task. Each man's soul is his genius. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. He who hesitates is lost. Appearances are a glimpse of the unseen. Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire. You have to assemble your life yourself, action by action. Don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power or our will. Nothing, to my way of thinking, is a better proof of a well-ordered mind than a man's ability to stop just where he is and pass some time in his own company. It is essential that we not respond impulsively. Take a moment before reacting and you will find it easier to maintain control. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Experience is the teacher of all things. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Deaths that are greater portions gain. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. We must take a higher view of all things and bear with them more easily. It better becomes a man to scoff at life than to lament over it. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. People are like dirt. They can either nourish you and help you grow as a person, or they can stunt your growth and make you wilt and die. Order your soul, reduce your wants. Mastery of reading and writing requires a master, still more so life. So it is with men too. Even if they don't want to, they will be compelled to follow what is destined. Anyone who can make you angry becomes your master. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations no matter what is going on around you. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasm. You'll be able to use them better when you're older. From this instant on, vow to stop disappointing yourself. Separate yourself from the mob. Decide to be extraordinary and do what you need to do now. He who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. I will reveal to you a love potion, without medicine, without herbs, without any witch's magic. If you want to be loved, then love. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. Kindness is unconquerable, so long as it is without flattery or hypocrisy. For what can the most insolent man do to you if you contrive to be kind to him? And if you have the chance, gently advise and calmly show him what is right, and point this out tactfully and from a universal perspective. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. Man's character is his fate. Most people, when they are set upon looking into other people's affairs, never turn to examine themselves. You will earn the respect of all if you begin by earning the respect of yourself. Don't expect to encourage good deeds in people conscious of your own misdeeds. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Men seek out retreats for themselves in the country, by the seaside, on the mountains. Nowhere can a man find a retreat more peaceful or more free from trouble than his own soul. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Men are of little worth. Their brief lives last a single day. They cannot hold elusive pleasure fast. Eve melts away. All laurels wither. All illusions fade. Hopes have been phantoms, shade on air-built shade since time began. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. All that exists is the seed of what will emerge from it. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged. There could be no justice unless there were also injustice, no courage unless there were cowardice, no truth unless there were falsehood. If you want rainbow, you have to deal with the rain. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Let your speech be better than silence, or be silent. It is thus with farming. If you do one thing late, you will be late in all your work. Having the fewest wants, I'm nearest to the gods. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones. Glory follows virtue as if it were its shadow. The first step, don't be anxious. Nature controls it all. Philosophy is an act of living. In your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. I begin to speak only when I'm certain what I'll say isn't better left unsaid. What progress, you ask, have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself. Never discourage anyone who continually makes progress, no matter how slow. People often say what is right and do what is wrong, but nobody can be in the wrong if he is doing what is right. Nothing beautiful without struggle. Recognize that if something is humanly possible, you can do it too. Rule your mind or it will rule you. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputations from storms and tempests. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? Nature does nothing uselessly. Why should we pay so much attention to what the majority thinks? One man is worth 1,000 if he is extraordinary. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. And you can also commit injustice by doing nothing. Wait for the wisest of all counselors, time. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? Do not train a child to learn by force or harshness, but direct them to it by what amuses their minds, so that you may be better able to discover with accuracy the peculiar bent of the genius of each. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Just that you can do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. The best livelihood, particularly for the strong, is earning a living from the soil, whether you own your land or not. Many can support their families by farming land owned by the state or private landowners. Some even get rich through hard work with their own hands. The earth repays those who cultivate her both justly and well, multiplying what she received, endowing in abundance all the necessities of life to anyone willing to work, and all this without violating your dignity or self-respect.